I was just speaking to somebody who had set herself a New Year's resolution to complete some fitness challenges in the next 6 months and has since started going to a gym. And she made a couple of points and a couple of observations which I thought were really important and kind of the sorts of things that might be useful to other people who are undertaking a similar resolution. So here they are. The first thing is that if you think that everybody's looking at you, they probably are. You're the new person and new things are interesting. It's not because you've worn the wrong things or you're doing the wrong things, or in my case, because you're terribly awkward, but you're new. And so people are going to check out the new people to see whether or not they know them, to see whether or not they know what they're doing, potentially to see whether or not they're the sorts of people they want to be able to come over and meet and train with, or even just get to know. Additionally, you may be standing in front of a coach or the clock and people are trying to see how much time is left on a workout or trying to get the attention of the coach, and in doing so are kind of looking through you. So you may just be in the wrong spot at the wrong time, but don't be put off by the fact that people are looking at you. It's just standard practice for the new member process when you start a gym. Secondly, if everybody seems a bit standoffish or cliquey, that's because the gym environment is an incredibly peculiar environment. Consider the fact that fundamentally these people are voluntarily putting themselves in a small space with other people to perspire and breathe heavily and essentially hurt themselves over the course of 45 minutes to an hour. So it's a very unusual environment. So if people feel a little standoffish, it's generally because even the most long-term members are still going to have some reservation about their performance or some level of discomfort. And so we are attracted to what we're comfortable with, which may seem cliquey, but I can assure you that in most cases that isn't the case. So if it feels that everyone is a little standoffish, it's more so just a case that everybody's just trying to find their level of comfort. And at that point, it's going to be with the people they already know. The third thing is that if you feel like there are a whole bunch of movements that you don't know how to do or that you've never even heard of, don't worry about it, because the fitness industry is elite when it comes to making shit up. The most standard movements that have been around for 1,000 years seem to undergo a name change every few years. So even the most common standard movements inevitably end up with a variation that has a new name. So you're not the only one who's struggling to understand what the hell it is you're supposed to be doing. And the last thing, and this is something that has worked for me in the past when I've had to start at a new fitness center or even with a new sporting team, is to be clear on your own purpose and your own objectives. And what I find is that if at any point you start to feel intimidated or overwhelmed or even potentially out of place, revisiting what your objective is in the first place is a great way to almost override those feelings of insecurity so that you can continue to pursue the purpose for why you're there in the first place. Hopefully that's of use to anybody who has set themselves a New Year's resolution around health and fitness and training. If you have other tips, by all means, leave some notes in the comments, and best of luck with your fitness goals for 2024.